Let's take you straight to the story that has been our top focus through the day. Is your child safe at school? A 7-year-old boy has been found murdered at a top school in Gurugram. His body was found in a pool of blood inside the washroom of the Ryan International School. The child was found with a slit throat, a knife beside his body. The police has registered a murder case. Forensic samples have been collected from the spot. The police team is examining CCTV footage from over 30 cameras installed on school premises and is also questioning the school staff.
A lot of parents had stormed inside this particular school, and as you can see the condition right now, they came inside the school, they broke all these glasses that are here, and this is the condition right now. They broke the phones that are there, and all because they were angry as to how is it possible that a school, a reputed school like Ryan International, second standard boy has been found murdered inside the school. What were the school authorities doing? How is it that they allowed a knife to have entered this particular premises, and how is it that no teacher, no official was there to keep an eye on these kids who had entered the school? And these are the kind of tough questions that the parents had really asked while they stormed inside the school asking for answers, and this is what has happened inside the school. Now let me quickly take you to where this entire incident took place. Right now the police are at the school premises. They have cordoned off this entire area. In fact, this is the corridor that leads to the washroom. Now the corridor, as you can see, towards the right side of the corridor is where the washroom was, and that is where this particular boy was really found. Now we also spoke to the school coordinator, who said that this incident happened at a point where all these kids were coming in. 8 o'clock is their in time, and they were all coming in. The school was in some way settling in, and we're also getting to hear that this particular boy had come in a little early. Their parents had dropped the boy a little early, but the boy never reached the classroom, which is why the class teacher did not know whether the boy was in the classroom or not. And it was only at around 9:15 when one of the school officials had gone to the washroom, and this is the place where they went, and that is where they spotted this boy lying in a pool of blood and a knife that was next to the body. And immediately the boy was taken to the Artemis Hospital, which is the nearest private hospital, and he was declared broad dead. Right after that, this entire uproar that started, the parents were called in. They were told that the child has been taken to the hospital, has been declared broad dead. And what happened after that is right in front of you, the kind of scenes that were witnessed in this school. Many angry parents still outside the school premises asking for answers and asking the school management to take accountability of what all has happened, because it is impossible for any kind of personal enmity to have been the reason behind this murder, because it is a second standard boy. What personal enmity angle could the police probably be looking at? And these are some of the questions that the parents who are right now outside the school premises, who have not been allowed to go inside after whatever happened here, are asking. And right now there is a lot of police presence in the school as well. As you can see, they are all stationed here to ensure that nothing else apart from this happens. A lot of police personnel inside and also outside the school. We are still trying to get in a word from the school management as well. Also, we're getting to hear that there are 2 CCTV footages which were near that area, which the police have already taken, and they will be looking at it very closely.
In fact, the father of the deceased 7-year-old child has called it murder and said that the school authorities must be held accountable. Listen in to that grieving father.
नॉर्मल डे था, जैसे स्कूल छोड़ते हैं बच्चे को टाइमिंग से मैंने छोड़ के घर वापस आया हूँ, और स्कूल से फ़ोन आता है कि आप प्लीज़ हॉस्पिटल पहुँचिए, बच्चे को बहुत ब्लीडिंग हो रही है, बच्चा वॉशरूम के बाहर मिला है गिरा हुआ। बस मैं उसके बाद से आया, जब तक हॉस्पिटल पहुँचा तब तक मेरा बच्चा नहीं था। एंड इट्स अ क्लियर कट मर्डर केस। जो भी हुआ बच्चे के साथ स्कूल में, जिसने भी किया वो तो पेरेंट को नहीं पता, लेकिन हुआ कुछ मिसहैपनिंग है। स्कूल की तरफ से सिर्फ ये बताया गया था मुझे कि बच्चे को बहुत ब्लीडिंग हो रही है, वो वॉशरूम के बाहर मिला है, हम उसको लेके हॉस्पिटल भाग रहे हैं, आप भी प्लीज हॉस्पिटल ही पहुंचिए।
अच्छा, उसके बाद अभी तक कुछ नहीं?
उसके बाद हॉस्पिटल टीचर्स थे हॉस्पिटल तक, हॉस्पिटल वालों ने डिक्लेयर कर दिया आर्टेमिस ने कि जी वो डेथ हो गई है बच्चे की।
सर पता ये चला, हमारे मेंबर है और उनको सुबह जो डेली बेसिस पे अपने बच्चों को स्कूल ड्रॉप करके आते थे, स्कूल ड्रॉप करके आए और आने के तुरंत आधा घंटे के बाद ही 8-10 पे तकरीबन उनके पास स्कूल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से फ़ोन आता है कि आपका बच्चा हमें बाथरूम के बाहर मिला है और उसको काफ़ी ज़्यादा ब्लीडिंग हो रही है। उसके बाद हमने पूछा भी क्या हुआ, बच्चे के पेरेंट्स ने पूछा क्या हुआ, लेकिन कुछ पता नहीं चला। उन्होंने सीधा बोला ऐसा हम बादशाहपुर लेकर के जा रहे हैं और वहाँ पे आप आइए। बादशाहपुर लेके गए, बादशाहपुर वालों ने बोला कि नहीं आप इसको तुरंत आर्टिमिस लेके जाइए। आर्टिमिस गए तो वहाँ पे बच्चे को डेड वो कर दिया, डिक्लेयर कर दिया। उसके बाद हम यहाँ आए, पुलिस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पे भी हम लोगों ने तुरंत ही मैसेज रिपोर्ट किया है कि ऐसा ऐसा वारदात हुआ है, ऐसी घटना हुई है।
स्कूल में मर्डर कभी सुना था इतने छोटे बच्चे?
ऐसा आई डोंट नो, मतलब ये भी बहुत सरप्राइजिंगली और बहुत शॉक्ड है हमारे लिए भी न्यूज़ के 7 साल के बच्चे का किसी से क्या झगड़ा हो सकता है या किसी से क्या लेना देना हो सकता है जिसकी वजह से ऐसा हुआ। तो ये बहुत बड़ा एक क्वेश्चन मार्क लगा है। और ये पिछले 3 महीने में अगर आप देखें तो यहाँ पे ये चौथी ऐसी वारदात हुई है मार पिटाई और इसके अलावा कि जिसमें हमारे पूर्वांचल समाज के लोग ही हमेशा पीड़ित हैं।
आज बच्चे को 7:55 पर स्कूल छोड़े हैं और जैसे ही बहरहाल ये श्याम कुंज में रहते हैं, मारुति कुंज के बगल में, और जैसे घर आए हैं वैसे स्कूल का एक फ़ोन आया जो आपका बच्चा गिर गया और बहुत ब्लीडिंग हो रहा है, जल्दी आप बादशाहपुर पहुँचे हैं। जब ये लोग बादशाहपुर के लिए चले हैं, ऑन वे हैं, तो फिर फ़ोन आ रहा है जो आप हमने एम्बुलेंस करके आर्टिमिस में ले जा रहे हैं, आप आर्टिमिस में आओ। इस बीच में 1-2 पुलिस की भी फ़ोन आई, उन्हें अटेंड करते हुए आर्टिमिस जब पहुँचे हैं तो बच्चा मरा हुआ है, गला कटा हुआ है। ये साफ साफ हत्या है, इसके सिवाय और कुछ भी नहीं है।
Horrifying, shocking incident over there. Anuradha Sahasrabuddhe of the Dhyan Devi Child Line from Pune is on the phone line with me. In fact, our phone lines are open, and if you are disturbed, as disturbed by this incident as we are, and if you want to join in the discussion, pick up the phone and call us. Numbers are flashing on your screen. But Anuradha, coming to you first, the school is supposed to be a safe haven.
Correct.
Murder in the school, it is every parent's worst nightmare.
Absolutely. Yeah. See, hello.
Yes, Anuradha, go on.
Yeah. See, what is happening is we are also getting a lot of these cases because we have peer support groups in Pune schools, precisely established for the reason that the problems of children are changing nowadays. Communication lines with teachers and parents, I'm sorry to say, are almost non-existent. Children are telling us that bullying is happening regularly, and this is directly related to their net addiction. And it could be video games, it could be something they are seeing and just in a childlike way copying. So whether it is bullying younger children and sexually abusing them or whatever, or physically abusing them, this is quite a regular feature.
Anuradha, here we are not talking about bullying here. We are not talking about children fighting over here.
No, you don't understand. I'm saying this bullying is happening, and this murder could be a result of one of these bullying episodes where the child did not accept something what the older child was saying, and this is a result. Okay, so now the children don't talk about their problems, as I said, to their teachers, or teachers are not sensitive enough to see the changes in the children, and the parents also have no time for them. So what is happening is there could be signs and symptoms which are going unnoticed.
Right.
That is the point I'm making.
Right.
And
Anuradha,
so
point taken, but tell me this.
Yeah?
Point taken, but we've been speaking to parents through the day over here. Parents' trust is completely shaken. Nobody expects a murder
Naturally.
to happen in a school. And like you said,
it is going to escalate. I'm telling the parents that this is going to escalate. I'm even as you were speaking to me in the afternoon, my staff was dealing with a case where a 6-year-old boy is talking about Fasi. So where does this come from? Are we actually, do we really understand what's happening in our children's world? That is my worry.
right.
Parents
Anuradha,
are in a big denial mode.
Right, Anuradha, stay with us. We have Jaya who's called in from Mumbai. Jaya, are you a parent? Do you have children?
Hello.
Yes, Jaya.
Yeah. I would just like to say that now my children are grown up, but this is a shocker, and it's so horrifying that a school has turned into a killer ground. It's obvious that it has been pre-planned. You see, who enters, and the school authorities are to blame because the CCTV footage, which could offer crucial evidence inside the washroom, has not been functional. Isn't it the responsibility of the school authorities who have CCTVs installed to see that they are always operational? These things, anything could have happened. And now the other CCTV footages, whether they are going to offer so much crucial evidence, which is, I feel, has been lost. One. And who are the ones who entered the school? Parents dropping their children, or it is, or the non-teaching teaching staff, non-teaching staff, and it could also be small children these days. There are some horrifying episodes where you see the children learning from the TV, from the mobiles,
Right.
Of how they start. There's some enmity with the child, and it must have, without the knowledge of the parents, brought a knife to school. So you just can't rule out that also, though it's only a 7-year-old child, the child who killed could have been of the same age or slightly older. And these things do happen, but now the investigations have to be carried on, and it has to reach the logical conclusion. It should, after all this, I think it's high time we had a media campaign for this child. It is definitely
Right, Jaya.
shocking. Yes.
Right, Jaya. Obviously, something that raises a lot of questions on security, on vigilance within our schools. Anuradha, do stay with us. And news breaking on that story: 3 people have been detained in that case where a 7-year-old boy was brutally murdered in the washroom of his school. Police close to cracking the case is what we hear. The reason for murder is not being disclosed currently by the police, but what we have got to know about, what we found, is that 3 people, including the driver and the conductor of the bus, have been detained. Police are now saying that a breakthrough could be expected soon. Right, and that is what we are hearing at this point in time, that the driver and the conductor of the school bus has been detained. The driver and the conductor are among 3 men who've been detained by the police. Police believe that they are very close to cracking the case, though they are not yet disclosing the reason or the motive behind this brutal, horrific murder. The driver, conductor of the bus have been detained. The police are now saying that they expect a breakthrough at any moment in time. We will get you more on that breaking news in a bit. But Anuradha Sahasrabuddhe of Jnanadevi Childline is still with us. Anuradha, here it is now. The conductor, the driver of the school bus have been detained by the police. We cannot say for sure yet whether or not they are guilty of this murder over here. But we were talking about security a little earlier, security and vigilance, and this is very, very important, especially if you take into consideration the amount of money parents are paying as fees to all of these schools. Can't this be the basic minimum that the school should be guaranteeing us, that our children will be safe in school?
Absolutely. But the thing is, let us, on one side, while I would blame the teachers for not being sensitive enough to see changes in the child's behavior, if something is wrong, at the same time, one has to understand that there are limitations. Like somebody said, no CCTV in toilets, but we will be the ones who would create hue and cry if CCTVs are installed in toilets, right? So that is also an issue from the angle of school administration. Both ways it's a little dicey. And another thing is, children can carry anything in their compass boxes, for example, blades or even cutters or whatever, for these incidences to happen. Now, and everything, it's very difficult to check these implements. And then another thing is, when what you are saying, these people have been apprehended, from the cases we have been dealing, the first thing that comes to my mind is what is the motive that child should be medically examined if there has been some other kind of abuse? You know what I mean? Right?
Right.
And
Let's
in that
not go
case,
there.
exactly.
Let's not go there, Anuradha, because that is something that the police are not really confirming right now. The police are not talking about that at all. All that they are investigating at this point in time is the murder. So let's stick with the murder. Now, here's what I want to ask you. As parents, how can we demand that our schools be more secure for our children? What can parents do here?
Pardon?
As parents, how can we demand that schools be made more secure?
No, that's what I'm saying. There has to be the security part comes in, the technical part comes in, but sensitization of the teachers to look for danger signals, that is also part of security, which I think needs to be looked into. And setting up like peer support groups, that is another answer. Okay, and empowering children that if there is a potential danger, what to do. That both parents and teachers need to do. You know, when we talk of security, we are just talking of CCTV and, you know, guards being in place and stuff like that. But these other things are equally important.
Right. Anuradha, in fact, Babita is also on the phone line with us. Babita is a viewer who's called in. Babita, where are you calling from? Babita, if you can hear me, you're on the show. Right. We are also joined with Anubha. We are also joined by Anubha Sahai. Anubha, we know that you are, you do head a parents, teachers, you do head the PT Association, Parents Association. Tell us this. The school, one would think, should be a safe haven for children. How can we as parents demand better security, better vigilance in our schools?
Yeah, this is a very shocking incident which has come up, and every week, at least every week, we are like seeing that every week there is some or other incidents which are happening inside the school premises. Schools which are supposed to be very secure and safe place for children are becoming so insecure that even the insecurity complex is rising among parents. I am getting messages on behalf of many parents from across India that we should do something to make these schools and as well as the state government and central government accountable. It is mandatory for all these schools, as per the guidelines prescribed by the Honorable High Court and Supreme Court, to have installed all the CCTV cameras in the school premises. But still, most of the schools have neither installed those cameras, and never any inspection has been conducted by the Education Department. It is mandatory as per Right to Education Act also to take care of the children while they are inside the school. Now, suppose this incident has happened in the school, I would say that not only management should be held accountable. The Education Department, State Government, Women and Child Ministry, as well as the HRD Ministry and our PM.
Anubha, this is something that has happened within the school. How can the government really come in over here? I know that you've been working with parents for a long time. How can we ask the government to help over here?
Government should do inspection after, maybe a quarterly inspection should be held in all these schools to check whether all these CCTV cameras which are being installed in the schools are working properly or not. They are charging so much from parents, they are taking money from parents that we are installing CCTV cameras and we are providing you so many facilities, and that's why you will have to pay so much fees. Then why these cameras and other facilities are not working properly? And who is going to do the inspection? Parents are not going to do the inspection. It is the responsibility of management as well as the department. Why the management is not submitting any report that all the cameras are working? There has to be some guidelines prescribed by the government. Immediately an ordinance should be passed by the HRD Ministry, central government and state government also to make the school area secure by installing many CCTV cameras so that no child shall be targeted or should be killed the way the child has been killed today.
Right. Anuradha and Anubha, do stay with us. We have Babita, who's a viewer who's called in from Jalandhar. Babita, if you can hear me now.
Yes.
Yes, go on, Babita.
Good evening. Yeah, what I'd like to say is, the ma'am who was just speaking before me, that, you know, she was saying that government should only, you know, pass rules or they should make laws. I think there are enough laws in our country, and I think nobody is even bothered. Because I think all these schools are majorly linked with, big politicians and all. So they are least bothered. They are only bothered that what amount of money they are getting from the parents. And when they get their money, they are not bothered what is happening to a child. And I think what I suggest is that rather than making laws, I think the government should now, take away the registration of these schools. Once the school has been taken away from the registration, I think that's when the other schools will learn a lesson that, we are just minting money from the parents, and if anything happens in our
Right.
school also, maybe our registration can also be taken away. And maybe that is where the other schools will learn a lesson. And, the place where we think our child is the safest place. And if such a thing is happening, I think laws are not going to be, laws are enough there. I think it is at time to take action, and I think the best action is to
Right, Babita.
take away the registration of such
Right,
schools.
right, Babita. Thank you very much for calling in. And on that note, it is a wrap on the news. Like Babita said, it's time that our governments act and penalize schools which are not safe for our children. Thank you for watching.